Yes.
And a very happy, good Wednesday morning / evening for Emma, specifically to you people.
Anyone else across? Anyone else across the pond?
No one is. She's the only one who lives there. It's
That's
her and
true.
her balloon army now.
I know. I love the balloon.
There's other heart balloons now to
It's
join Balloon Buddy.
Favorite.
I am still
heart of Dutch
heavily invested.
people in the Dutch land.
I want to go to this train station so bad.
Well, we're gonna be close to it.
It won't be there forever,
but not at the train station.
We'll be close. We'll see her. We won't see her balloon pals.
That's true. But we will see.
That's good enough. That's good enough.
I know. Less than a week away when we come out. It's
Holy
wild.
smoke-a-roons.
What's up, Saskia? What's up, Slivies?
Good morning. How the heck are you, folks?
I'm sorry it's been a rough week, Slivers.
I'm sorry, man. Where did I see that? Oh, all's well. You been playing more of that Bloodborne? Bloodborne?
I think
right?
Blood Butt.
Blood Butt. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the new balloon in person yet. Oh.
Ooh.
So you've got sentries out there walking and checking, searching. So I'm sorry you're having a rough week, my man.
Yeah, sucks.
Is your back still acting up? Being a mega pain? That sucks. Sasquatch says, I'm currently looking up leprechaun traps, that kinder life. Yeah, it's coming up, isn't it? Are you going to do a whole St. Patty's Day thing?
St. Patrick's
Leprechauns are real. Have you done... You guys should do a St. Patty's Day episode about leprechauns.
Maybe we are. I don't know. Matthew's the one who decides the episodes.
Oh, man. I mean, there really are so many holiday...
We literally could do one about every single holiday. Other
Just
than, like,
about.
Memorial Day.
Yeah,
You know, like...
Well, and like...
We could try
I
to do...
love that in the Christmas episode that we touched on, like, many cultures is... But
Well, that's
you
the
could
thing.
do,
Like, a lot of holidays we could do a whole series of episodes on.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Oh, my goodness gracious. What did I just do?
Your bass is getting a little messed up, by the way.
Huh? What do you mean?
It's just getting a little...
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez Louise. Just
Yeah,
from being in here?
I think it's just from being there.
wide?
Yeah, I guess his bass isn't quite as strong.
What's the method I should do?
Uh,
I would have to extend it, like, all the way. Should I just paint by?
No, you can. If you want to, you can put it on here if you want.
Maybe.
Just stuff it down there. I can't believe we're meeting y'all next week. I know, it's wild, right?
It never stays when I do it.
Let me see.
I'm not good at minis. Yeah, it's going to be freaking awesome.
Yeah.
So are you, Emma, are you just getting in, because it's a weekend con, are you staying in, coming in early, staying over late, any of that business, or is it just the weekend? I don't know if, like, people in Europe are like, I'm going to turn this into a vacation, too. Like, for us, it's such a journey. I'm like, yeah, we're going to stick on
also,
it.
you,
like, no, I'm
you
just going to
all
go home.
get vacation.
We don't get vacation. We work for ourselves, and we are terrible bosses. Let me ask us, hey, can I get some time off? That's it. That's us work saying, hell no. JK. We were just talking about that.
Yeah, we were.
Giving ourselves vacation. Vacation for days.
I'm actually going to stream 1 to 2 hours of Bloodborne after you finish here. Look at that, Slivies. Look at that. Your life is tight.
Love that. Love that. It's a Tuesday, so you're already streaming. We won't be back by then. We're going to be in Europe, aren't we?
When?
Right?
Next Tuesday?
St. Patrick's Day.
Oh.
St. Patrick's, yeah. We'll be in Britain. We ain't streaming that day.
We ain't going to be. We're going to be...
We're going to be raging with leprechauns in actual Ireland.
Yeah, we'll be near Ireland.
Sasquatch says, do you guys have your calendar planned for the con? I'm going to stay on top of you guys for admin stuff. In terms of, like, what, huh? In terms of what we're doing and stuff? Or our con?
I don't know what it means. Hi, Quicksand. I hear you, Quicksand. We're sad, too. So those of you who don't know or
Don't
even
be
know
sad.
what it is...
Be excited for the future.
Kiki is leaving This Game Is Broken.
You know who's excited about it?
Who?
Kiki.
Yeah. Yeah. She is. She made the decision. She's been just... she's been honestly too busy for the show for a while.
She used the words too good for the show?
That was her words, yeah.
Which was upsetting.
Which was
I also
a little...
get it.
we get it. We understood. It was a little upsetting, though.
Just to face the reality.
Yeah, it's like, we already knew that, No, yeah, it's sad. but it's fine. You know, it's like she's sticking around. Like, she literally afterwards was like, should I leave the Slack channel? And we're like, you don't have to. Yeah, like, she was like, oh, I don't really want to. We're like, all right, cool. And so
around, man.
she's still around.
She was incredibly sweet. Now she's just like, I guess I'll leave you guys. And we're like, we all want you to like
hang
we're
out,
not shutting you or something.
Yeah,
like, please hang out. And I told her this over at Dice Tower West as well, saying like, literally, if you ever have a free moment and just like
want to be on the show,
I'd love to be on the show. Like, just
I'll drop out. I don't even
stuff
care.
you
like,
in as a guest or whatever. I'm like, yes, just come be on the show.
Yeah.
You are literally welcome any second that you want. So she will not be. It won't be the same as like Dan. It'll be much more. I think you'll see her again type situation. You know.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but it's good for her. She needs to, and Silver said, happy she's able to make the decision. Yeah, she, you know, let us know, and we all got it. We were like, yeah, like
y'all should be happy because it's literally because she wants to dive harder into Girls Game Show.
Yeah.
So like it's going to benefit us all that she is doing this. It's definitely a good thing.
Sasquatch, yes, we do, but we're not going to say who.
We do. Don't worry, will be no interruption in service. And we have a real fun thing coming up.
Yeah. A fun little...
it's a cool little...
Special
something.
We did ask you, Slivers, you were unavailable. Or at least that's what your sons told us.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the fact that you're like, you need to talk to my people. We're like, tough stuff. Okay.
Okay. So we were like, oh, geez. We get it.
Yeah. A big deal.
But yeah, so we have another fun episode coming up that's we're very, very excited about. It was an absolute blast to record.
Blizzast.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. But yeah, and then the new replacement's gonna be great.
Yeah, Emma's gonna be a guest on our live show at AirCon. So
that's right.
Basically, our
best guest of all time.
Replacement for that con. Anyway,
yeah.
I mean, Kiki was never going to AirCon.
Yeah, that's true. You know, but hey, yeah, it should be good. I'm very excited. But I'm sad for Kiki, but she's still around, you know.
Yeah. We just saw her. She's around.
Yeah, we just saw her. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Saw her over the weekend. It was awesome.
It was really awesome. Kiki's one of the better people on the planet.
She is probably the best. Like, the
just
best
like
individual person on the planet.
Solid human.
Kiki most likely wins that distinction right there.
Yeah. He's golded out.
He is very golded out. I'm confused. I'm curious if I put too much gold. That's what I was thinking about right now. Just be like, should I put
heck no. He's gold plated. I'm gonna do gold. I'm gonna do gold skulls.
But you're an ice corn.
Gold skull. Yeah.
I love it.
In the mythos of my ice corn, he dips all of the fallen into gold and honors them that way.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Plus, it's badass looking.
It does.
Because his trim's gonna have like on these boots is maybe I could do.
That's the question right there.
I was gonna do gold there. I think I'll keep it that way. Yeah. Those will be knuckles. There's gonna be all knuckles from his enemies that are on his boots in the mythos, Nick. In the mythos, not in the. You won't be able to tell that from here. That's in here.
I just really enjoyed the energy she added, but the episodes when it was just the guys with the one hosting 3 teams were fun too. Yeah, we enjoyed that. I mean, she was when Dan left, we were kind of in a scramble to find someone new, and we basically all of us, without really talking to each other, all wanted Kiki to be on the show.
Like, Kiki be cool.
We're like, yeah,
She's
we're like
awesome.
Kiki was like the choice, like the only choice we really wanted at that time, and like she was the choice, and so we asked her, all real nervous, and she said no, because we're like, we really don't know who we're gonna ask at that point, and she really wanted to do it, and I think the show, no offense to Dan or anything like that, but I think the show got a lot better.
I think Dan included would agree with that statement.
So, yeah, I mean, she took the show to a whole nother level. So yeah, but yeah, shall we start, Mikey?
Yeah,
We don't have as much pretense with these ones. That's fine, Mike.
Because we got painting to do.
We got painting to do just for you. What
should I do these little furry bits? What should I do this little... He's got like this and on his little gloves. His little... Well,
it's up
to
you.
Like
you could
wraps.
do like...
They're not even gloves. They're like...
Are they like leather wraps?
I would imagine they're leather, yeah.
They could be. Make them leather. Or what I'll do is usually...
because he's cold because it's icy.
Well, then I would choose maybe like Storm Vermin Fur, which is the one next to the beiges up there on the top shelf. Top shelf. Gray. It's gray. Yeah, sorry, I should have mentioned that was gray. Because that one's got kind of like a brownish gray to it, and so I like to use it for fur. Unless I want like a brown fur, like if it's like a brown wolf or whatever, I like to go with that.
Okay. Maybe that'll be
because it's got kind of brown. So again,
what about lime green?
See, why is this so high? Did this move?
Did it slide on you? Do you actually hold your thing up in the air? I like kind of like get it.
Yeah, I hold it like this. I'm like here. Boom. I have to have it here. Yeah, and that's totally fine. I know I watch someone who paints like this. They paint like this. I was.
That works.
Like, my camera's
wolf fur. It could be wolf fur. Yeah, I like that. Maybe I'll make mine because he's up in the ices, and there would be like wolves up in the mountains that he hunts because he's not immune to his own coldness. That's the problem. He has to wear a little fur. He has to wear a little fur belt. Wolf fur could be rad. Eliani says, hello! Came back from volunteering at my kiddo's school book fair just in time to catch you. The book fair was my favorite thing. It was so fun to get all the new goosebumps and stuff.
Yeah.
So tight. Is there still goosebumps there? Probably.
Also,
I've been writing thousands of those.
Yeah. All right. Is my focus right on my side? Can someone let me know? I think it is. It looks like it is. So this is my guy right here.
That's all right.
Is, yeah, so he's... See, this is why I like having the white behind it, though, because then you can see it better, whatever.
Why don't you angle it?
Because I had to have my arms here
right.
if I want to be
hands. Loved book fairs, said every kid ever. Wasn't it so... Why was that? Maybe it's because, like...
I don't know.
Purchasing things was, like... we didn't have many opportunities to do it, you know? And so, like... I remember for me, the book fair...
The Scholastic
we got, like, the
fair.
Scholastic. We get, like, the sheet ahead of time. And you could, like... it's a little brochure of books. And we could, like... Mama, you can buy 3 things or something. You know, none of the toy packages or whatever. Books.
Yeah, books.
Okay. But we had agency. We were like, ooh... I'm gonna get this new Animorphs jam. Of course, got to get that.
Of course,
got to get this goosebump, but I can only get that goosebump. Let me take a step over here. And we got to choose.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
Kids having choice of things is very important.
Yes,
because so much of your childhood is not a bad thing, but so much of your childhood you're just being shuttled around from place to place.
Yeah,
you don't get to say anything about it. It's just this is where we're going. Then.
Yeah,
you know.
Can I have the black? Abaddon Black and Mechanica Standard Gray, which is right above it.
Okay, good. So,
yeah, it was a big deal.
Yeah, it was just so fun, man. It's just a shop. And it like felt very adult shopping.
Yeah.
I'm a shopper, but
I'm a shop for stuff.
I'm going to do some research on this book when there's no internet. It was like, this one looks cool. Click, you know. And
yeah.
By click, I meant write an X with a pencil and then go into the book fair and get it.
Loved the book fair.
So fun. It was cool because like it was in our little school library that would transform.
Yeah.
You know, now there's like books to buy and stuff, and the books are behind. Like, so it was extra fun. It was so fun.
It was
so fun.
You're not wrong.
I says yes. There was a Goosebump bundle. Rip. So cool. Scholastic is still killing it.
Absolutely.
Scholastic is one of those ain't gonna go anywhere.
Ain't going nowhere.
Oh man, the kids were so great. Some kiddos knew exactly what they wanted. Others took a very long time maximizing their buying power. Some board gamers are making there.
It's a big deal as a kid. I mean, God, it really was. It's like. And honestly, as a kid, I wasn't a huge reader. Like, I read a lot now, but I didn't start reading until I was in my early 20s.
I did a decent amount, I think, for a kid. I read, like, a lot of the Animorphs books and stuff. I would read, like, BFG and Goosebumps and things. I read a lot of those. Read a lot of the Boxcar Children, like, mystery stories and stuff. And, like, for a kid, I think I did pretty good.
I didn't. I did not read a lot. I didn't like reading that much. My thing is, and I'm still like this, I don't like being forced to read.
Because it's for nerds.
Yeah, and reading's for nerds. But yeah, I have a very difficult time being forced to read. So like when I have to like read a book for like an English class, I almost never did. Because I hated being forced to read. It just bothered me. I liked reading on my own, but I really, really, to this day, even if it's like, yo, you're in this chemistry class, you have to read the textbook. I mean, I'm just like,
I'd rather not.
Don't tell me what to read. I have this weird... No, it's not anything I'm being forced to, but there's some stuff that I don't mind being forced to do. Like, I guess it's like... just, of course. But you know what I mean? It's like, you know...
Tell me more,
certain things where it's just like having to do homework didn't really bother me. It's like you were forced to do homework, and I was just like, I don't really care.
Homework should be outlawed.
You know, it didn't really bother me, but it's like it's specifically being forced to read like a book really, really bothered me.
It made it a slog. You have to get to page 17.
Yeah, and in my opinion, they were usually never very interesting. Now I could appreciate like their eyes were watching God, but when I was 15, I couldn't. So it's like,
it's true.
I swear, in high school they should be reading like fantasy books and stuff.
Should.
It's because like so many of them have so many good things to say
that you're like not.
I don't care about Great Gatsby. I don't care.
Yeah, not like
15.
ready to appreciate the message.
I still don't really care.
Yeah, everyone reads like Catcher in the Rye as a kid and takes the wrong like messages, and for like a good month they're just like, everyone's a phony, and then they forget about it and they get on to the next thing, and I'm like, I don't think we should be reading these things. We should read other stuff, and then like later in life when you can appreciate it. It's the same thing with doing like Shakespeare. As a kid, it's just like, how are you gonna appreciate this for what it is?
Yeah, like I'm all for kids reading, but like again, kind of like the Meta Minute about Monopoly. It's like meet them where they're at.
Yeah, like
there are some amazing
stories,
YA novels. Have them read The Reckoners. There's tons of like legit societal stuff going on in that. It's just like
I forget that Reckoners is supposed to be kind
of. It's supposed to be a YA novel.
That makes sense. With some of the writing, I'm like, it's not bad, but it's just like
it's Brandon Sanderson. Yeah, it's not bad,
but stupid. And I'm like, it's just like. Oh, I couldn't think of a good metaphor. I'm just like, you're an idiot. And I'm like, it's for kids.
I like his weird metaphor thing. But yeah, you're right. Exactly. It's.
And he's like an 18-year-old kid in it. So I'm like, it makes sense. I'm just like, you're stupid.
Sam is reading the R.A. Salvatore Drizzt series, and I'm like book 18 after 3 years. I really liked it. I went through the Drizzts when I was in my early 20s. The problem is they get kind of repetitive.
Yeah. I ripped through like.
They're very good though.
6 or 7 of them like very fast. And I was just like, I can't do another one with this Hammerhand's dwarf and stuff. Like, he's dead, but he's back. And I'm like, I don't know. But it's
the good. Crystal's back, you know, just like
super good. But it was like, it's the same thing. I'm like, I got it.
Yeah.
So going back a bit, Sasquatch says, I think some of it, and this is talking about book fairs and things, why they're so exciting. I think some of it is that it was usually going on during a school festival too, like fall festival, and then your mom was likely not to say no to books. That's true. I think that's true. I can't remember if ours were set at some time, but there probably was other stuff going on.
I think there was other stuff.
Parents needed a reason to be at school, right? Like, there was some times where we were able to like bring in a check or something and do it on our own, but there was definitely times where mom was there.
Well, because our book fairs would go on for like a week.
Yeah,
like it was on during the week. There was always like one big day.
I think it was open after school.
Yes.
So like parents when they picked up stuff like that. So yeah, but it was a very fun time. Emma says, "Did you decide what games you're going to play on the plane yet?" Not fully. We are going to do. I don't have it in here. Shay let us borrow this little map making RPG called The Quiet Year. That we're gonna play. Assuming Paula is still down on the plane. So it'd be like a 3 to 4 hour thing, and you kind of go through a year, and you're like drawing stuff out onto a map. You're building out this map, and then events happen that might alter the map and stuff like that. And it's kind of this one-off kind of thing that doesn't require like you need some dice, you need like little skulls and stuff if you have them, or some sort of markers for like bad things that happen, and like a piece of paper, a couple pieces of paper and some writing utensils. Like it's very minimal. Yeah. And so you can play it like they play it on a plane, like they play on their little food trays and stuff. So we're gonna do that. I would really love to try to do something that's a little bigger.
It depends on how much space we have, really.
It depends on what space we have. We might do like a BitBox type situation. It'd be fun to play. We could do like Sushi Roll or something, and just ditch the box. And we had like the components.
We could easily do Sushi Roll,
something like that. So I don't know. What suggestions do you have? Obviously, Roll and Rights. We'll probably do a butt ton of Roll and Rights.
We will have a boot tune of Roll and Rights.
Yeah, but like I'm really excited for the Quiet Year because that's something that'll be a bigger experience and one that hopefully maybe we can retell the story of a little bit later or something like that. That will it'll take up time, but it won't take up space necessarily, which is very cool. If you play a 3-4 hour game, it's going to be something that it's going to hog some table.
Yeah.
But you can do that very small. Elias says, being forced to read at school completely destroyed my husband's interest in reading for fun. I'm working on finding super fun books for him to read, and he's getting into it now.
Yeah.
It really does. I read so much more now than ever in school. And it comes back down to agency and choice. I get to choose what I read. I never have to read anything again.
Yeah.
Like in terms of a book, and I can see how it would quell people's.
It did for me for a long time.
Yeah, it sucks, man.
I had 2 girlfriends, jealous, not at the same time, who were both huge readers. Massive readers. Were always reading, and so they would just start giving me stuff to read, and they were both massive nerds. Shocker. So it's mostly fantasy, and that's what got me reading.
Oh.
Yeah, it's because they would just give me stuff to read, and I did.
Because there's like so many things. It's like, how would you know about these unless you heard about it from someone? How would I know about Jim Butcher stuff if not for you?
Yeah, I mean, our interest in like Lord of the Rings stuff is because Pops would always you'd read it to us.
I mean, like everything, it's like helps if there's someone who can be like, hey, there's this really cool thing out there you should check out. Silver says in grade school here they let the kids decide what to read. Sam, so that's where it comes to the Sam is reading Drizzt. So I didn't realize that's how that works. That's awesome. Indeed. That's so cool. I think there should be some sort of like if you want to encourage reading.
Let them
there should be like you can read whatever you want to read, and then like once in a while, like tell us, maybe not even in a formal way, just be like, tell us what you're reading. Like, what's the story like? Yeah. Do you like it? Do you want to switch books? Okay. You know, read like give a healthy appreciation for like recreational reading. I think would be huge.
He said their school's like 53rd and third in the nation, and don't worry, it didn't come out wrong. But it's like it's probably that one of the reasons that's high is because they do things like that.
Yeah. Quickson says, speaking of books, I was watching a Jim Butcher interview. He said, after Dresden Files is done, there's a possibility of a spin-off series called Monster LLC with Goodman Gray as the main character. That would be interesting.
Who's Goodman Gray again?
He's like, he's not the shapeshifter dude, is he?
That is Goodman Gray, isn't it? That's what I was saying. Isn't he the Neglioshi?
Like the gold eyes or whatever? Yeah. That would be super cool.
Do a spin-off series with literally any characters in that, and I'm
just follow Sasha,
who?
Sonya around.
Oh, Sonya, yeah, Sonya would be great.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, shapeshifter. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I liked him.
God, Gray was super cool. That was a while back too. He appeared. That was like,
no, he's in Skin Game, isn't he?
Does he come back? But wasn't he? Didn't he get introduced in like one of the middle ones?
No, I think he's just in Skin Game.
Really?
I think so.
No.
Well, at least the character that's in Skin Game, I'm pretty sure is only in Skin Game.
Is that right? I thought that I get all mixed up because
there's a billion.
There's something like in one of the middle ones. Maybe it is just Skin Game. Maybe I'm making it up. Gray is super cool though. Cool dude. He's got the cold eyes or whatever. And they're like, "Oh man, you a Naglashi? Oh snap!" He's just like, "What's up?
Spoilers.
What's up with it?"
All right. I've been painting, sorry.
I'm thinking about it, man. I kind of want to give him like the golden helmet too. Now I have a question. So he's got like the little slits here. Ugh. Should I like paint that a different color, or just try not to paint it at all, and then a wash will help darken that down? And
wash will help darken it down. Don't worry about it.
So don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I'm thinking about doing like a golden helm with the gold skull to tie it all together, like he honors his victims.
Sure.
What's your leather go to? Let's see. Is
XV88.
I wanted to guess.
You asked me.
But then I started
so I gave you the answer.
Guess.
Yeah, but you just gosh.
Emma says, "Ooh, sorry for hyping here. I just got something awesome in the mail. Buttons.
Buttons are great.
Are they like pointless podcast pointless parrot podcast buttons? Are they parrot related?
Are they parrot related? That's
right. Don't ever apologize for hyping. We live off of the energy of hype. If that was not clear to everyone, look at my hair at 9 in the morning. That's hype hair.
Hyped hair.
That's because I'm too hyped. Okay.
I want a story that follows Toot around for a bit. I'd be down. If they pull a Dobby and kill Toot, I might stop reading.
They won't kill Toot.
Toot's the best. And his also, yes, I love Toot's like girlfriend lady. I'm down. He's getting a love storyline. I love it.
Pointless parrot buttons. Rip. I'm bringing the Americon. I want one.
Yeah. The school rank is absolutely related to their policy and approach, as it isn't even the highest rated public school in our school district. Yeah. Been in the school district, we're doing 26. Wow. Yeah, there's a lot of one of my roommate Sam. She's studied to be a teacher, but is obviously in school for a bunch of different stuff. And like we were talking on the way up to Yosemite because we drove together for their wedding about just like school reform and like kind of like what a lot of like states like California and a bunch of other places are like proposing to like change, just like abolishing homework completely because they found that like it doesn't help anything. Like, and all this stuff, and just like it was interesting to hear her talk about all these different things, like things like that, like letting kids choose what to read, like making learning fun, all this different kind of stuff, like all these like new, like, you know, getting rid of things like times tables, like memorizing times tables, like we all had to do that as kids, and like they're like, yeah, that's not really a good efficient way to learn anything. Well, yeah, it's like it makes you memorize it.
You just memorize.
Yeah, and so it's like, and so there's all these like new. It's been difficult for her as a student who's learning how to teach, because she's having to learn all these ways of teaching that like are super
like common core math.
Yeah, like super out there for her, because like we didn't learn that way, you know, and like, and they're like, yeah, or like figuring out that like, because you know, people always say there's like 3 kinds of learners. There's like kinetic learners, people who learn by doing, auditory learners, people who learn by hearing, and then visual learners, people who learn by seeing stuff. And they're like, yeah, and like making lesson plans and stuff to cater to all of those. So like if you have the kids who are kinetic learners, this lesson plan can also cater to and so basically like helping out like the way they learn to give kids, you know, just the best chance at learning and stuff. And it was really cool to hear her talk about it. You need to build
like a see, hear, do lesson plan.
Yeah.
You know, where it touches on all those things. Everyone does all of it, and so everyone can like really pick up on it.
Yeah, it was really cool. Hearing her, you know, because she's in the middle of those classes where they're studying all this stuff, and just like, yeah, it was very, very cool. So I'm highlighting the pants here. They're black pants. I'm highlighting with gray. The problem is when you are highlighting black, you generally highlight it with gray. The issue is if you highlight it too much, then they just look gray and not black. And that is kind of the issue. So I'm not going to highlight the pants too much because I don't want them to look gray. I want them to look black. So especially because these aren't something that's going to have a highly reflective surface, like say like leather pants. Like this isn't a leather daddy.
Should be.
He could be like when he's off duty, but at least right now when he's on duty,
he's on duty.
He's not a leather daddy.
Professional. He's a leather captain.
The captain. So that's what I'm doing. I figured I'd start with this. I'm a little scared to do the skin, so I'm mostly just
to highlight the skin.
Yeah, I'm mostly just
highlight the skin.
I'm stalling, basically, is what I'm getting at.
He's gonna stall for a few.
The only regular homework given in there's grade 6 through 8 school is math. Exactly.
They were like worst regular homework to give.
Well, we were talking about it. It's like instead of giving kids like 2 hours of homework a night, don't give them any homework and make them take place in some kind of extracurricular activity, whether that's art or sports or whatever. Like have them do that instead.
Be a part of some club.
Yeah, you know, have them make them do some kind of extracurricular activity, but something that they want to do, and it's way more beneficial than just giving them 3 hours of homework. Because basically, what they've found is like they retain the information long enough to get through the test, and then they immediately forget it all. Because that's how we all did it. You're like, I just need to get through this test, and then you do, and then you don't retain anything.
Because you don't care about it. It's like not important, you know.
So yeah, that's why they switched to Common Core. It's so good for kids. It's like yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Common Core is super cool. I watched like a video on it and like what it is, how it works, and why. And I was like, this is very neat. Like it's very foreign to folks of our age.
Yeah, just like, memorize this. You're
yeah,
like, okay.
And I'm like, Common Core seems like a lot of work, but it's like the idea is like you can break it down and understand why this number equals this. And I'm like, that's rad.
Yeah,
like,
it's
I don't know. I don't understand stuff like that. It's just I just know that it
does.
So it gives power, you know. And like you're owning your knowledge, and the fact that you can break stuff down and understand, it's like super cool. It's like doing like you can play guitar a little bit versus knowing music theory. You know, it's like yeah, understand why do these things do this and why. I think it makes it more exciting too. Like it made me want to like learn more about math.
Mike hates math.
I don't though. You know, it's like I don't, or rather I don't want to. I had some bad experiences.
Yeah, we had a big talk about math, I think, last
stream, I think.
Last stream or the stream before that, and it's like, yeah, it was never my favorite subject, but I didn't hate it. I was just never really strong in math, and so when I got it, what was going on, what was talked about, I liked it. But when I didn't, I really didn't like it. There's some classes where if I don't understand something, understand something, I get like, okay, I'm gonna work to like, man, I'm gonna try to get this. And there's sometimes where if I don't get it, I just hate it, and that's how math is. And if I don't like understand what's going on, then I get real just like blah, blah. Yeah. But like other things, but if I get it, I actually didn't mind doing math.
Eliani says, totally. My kiddo does swimming and Cub Scouts. Homework is minimal. Good. Also, piano diversified. Give them a chance to explore different things. Right. Like, that's something our mom instilled in us and did for us. But it's cool to see schools also pushing in that direction because it will make it, easier to actually be able to have time to do all those things and whatnot. But, like, yeah, we were in the Scouts. We did music. We did sports and stuff. You know, basically anything we were interested in, we could try.
Yeah, she was very good about letting us try, and then if we wanted to switch to something else,
after a certain amount of time.
Yeah, so
we couldn't do flavor of the week. We had a neighbor who was a flavor of the week kid, and spoiled to death. And like literally 1 week, like there was a go-kart, like racing go-karts.
Like not like a one you get at like Scandia or or
like
that.
Proper like souped up thing, like pulled on a hitch behind a truck. He's like, I'm gonna race go-karts and stuff. We're like, whoa, that's amazing. A week later, could not care less. Nope. They bought him a go-kart. Our mom was much more practical. We said we want to do this. You believe me, that day we're like, we want to race go-karts. Mom's like, that's cool. You can go Scandia on your birthday and you can race those go-karts, but we are not bringing one of those here. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Because a week later, no one cared.
Yep.
She was very good at knowing when something was practical and reasonable and we were actually into it versus when we were just getting caught up on the hype train. Let's see. Let's do... I'll wait for that to try.
So they changed the way they combine math too. It's no longer algebra, geometry, and algebra 2. They combine classes now since there are areas that are similar in both. That way students can see the similarities and get a better understanding of the
That's
formulas.
awesome.
That's cool.
That's so smart.
That is very cool.
We basically went to just subpar schools as kids, y'all. The 90s were fun, but we didn't learn anything.
We learned how to do drugs.
Dude!
My parents let me try stuff as well. I did judo, horseback riding, dancing, swimming, scuba diving, guitar lessons. I'm so grateful for them trying new things. I think it's very important. Yeah. Get your kids doing stuff, but again, it's like if they really don't like it, don't make them do it. Like it's just causing resentment.
Yeah. So rippable. Love that. Thanks for all these school updates, y'all. It makes me so happy to hear all those things. We'll be fine. So he says, I'll let my boys try stuff as well. RPGs, worker placement, Amera, Thrash, Flip and Fill.
That's right,
baby. That's what's up right there. That's what's up.
I know how you do, nerd.
Yo, Garth, up in here. I know this is totally off the subject since we were discussing education, which is truly more important, but I've recently started painting miniatures again, but I just don't get how to highlight. Neither do I. I don't.
So Garth, talk to me. What's your questions? Like talk to.
I don't get it.
I'm not an expert, but I can probably help.
I don't get it.
What do you mean you don't get? What do you don't get, Mikey? Let's talk.
You say I just don't. I don't know how to do it well.
But that's because you haven't done it much. I mean, how many minutes have you painted, and how many minutes have you like highlighted, and like a couple? I don't know. Like a couple. The girls played Downforce yesterday with Vischer. Ooh,
crushed him. Probably.
Make sure to tell them about the glories of Restoration Games, please.
Well, just tell them that every game deserves another chance, folks.
Yeah, every game deserves another turn. And the Brothers Murph, as a brand, appreciate them.
We've been given several extra turns in life. Just sounded right. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means, but it sounded right. All right, so it's probably hard to tell on camera, but I have highlighted the boots and the bracers and stuff. I am a little worried that it's turning a little too gray, so I think I'm going to do one more tiny highlight, and that's going to be it, because I think it's starting to turn a little too gray.
You're a little too gray. I'm gray. If I was black, I would be black. I'm not. I am gray.
I said, I'm totally flavor of the week kid. I picked up hobbies and all about long enough to learn the basics. Then I got bored and moved on to the next interesting thing. Yeah, it happens. I get that way with art. The only two arts I've ever stuck with have been like drawing, like pen and ink and now markers, and then mini painting. I was out with Art. I was like, I want to try this, and I tried it for like a week.
I mean,
Like, cool, and then leave. And then,
we joke about that about Tall David. Tall David's hobby is collecting hobbies.
Yeah, that is accurate.
That's what he does.
So Mike just said it all for me. I just can't figure it out, so I don't do it well. Okay.
For me, it's making it blend naturally.
Okay.
Where it doesn't just look like a line of like, well, that's a lighter color.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So for blending, if you're not trying to do anything with like blending techniques, like either wet blending or like feathering or glazing or any of those things, if you don't want to do any of those things, the way to not make it look like just a straight line of color is you have to move up in brightness very incrementally.
That's a lot of work.
That's the thing. That's your thing right there, though. It's like you either have to do things like feathering or glazing or something like that.
Just do it the hard way.
Or do it the long way. It's not necessarily the hard way. It's just the long way.
I'm not into that.
And see, that's the thing. So that's the issue with a lot of people with highlighting. It's like if you don't want it to be like one straight line, you're going too bright too quickly. Unless you want to do something where you're blending it out with glazing or feathering or something like that. Like, you got to thin your paint a lot. Like, thin layers make a big difference.
Okay. And
you need to move up very incrementally if you want to have a pretty smooth highlight without having to do any kind of like extracurricular work to make it smooth. And even then, it's not going to be as smooth as if you did all that other stuff. But that's the main thing. Move up very, very slowly. Like, so for this black, I don't know if you can see on my palette. So I have my, this used to be black, but this is now dark gray. But basically I put black, I have my gray here, and I've been adding teeny bits of this gray to this. And so I do it, add a little bit, it gets a little bit brighter, and then I put that on. And then I add a little bit more to this same little pot here to brighten it up a little bit more. And I just keep doing that. And that's the thing is I think, and this is what I used to do a lot, is like I'll grab this red, and then I'll go straight to this red. And these are very close together. It's very hard to tell on the camera what's different. But these are close enough together we probably can go, but even then, it's probably going to be noticeable. Especially if you're doing it over a smooth area. If you're doing it on like something like hair, it's not nearly as noticeable because it's very textured. But something like this, like really, there probably should be an intermediate between these two. And that's a lot. I understand that. But it's like, and then especially if you're like bumping up to this one, like here, like this looks like a pretty smooth transition. It's not as smooth as you think.
It's crazy. They look almost the same.
They're not. When you put them on top of each other, they're really not. Wow. And so that's the thing. Is like it's just you either gotta learn how to do some feathering or some glazing, or you gotta go up in smaller increments. And then understanding where to put your highlights is also something that just kind of takes time to learn. Again, you can do things like zenithal priming or zenithal highlights, and that helps a lot. The problem is that takes extra time, and I usually just don't care because I just know where to put highlights and bloods for the most part. So
it can be instinct, right?
But also, what you can do if you're doing something like zenithal highlights. So what zenithal highlights are, if you don't know, is you take
high noon at Mini Mountain.
Yes, you take a mini. Oh, this guy's cool looking. This guy looks dope. You take a mini, you're going to prime them black. This guy's just gray because that's how he came off the sprue. But you prime them black, and then you take like a gray, like a mid-tone gray primer, and then you prime him from like 45 degrees. And you prime all the way around 45 degrees. And what that does is everything that is more than 45 degrees facing up is going to get hit the primer. Everything else is going to stay black, though. So it's automatically going to create your shadows. Then what you do is you take white primer and you hit it directly from above. So what that does is that means everything that is basically facing straight up is going to be highlighted white already. And then everything in the kind of mid-tone is going to be highlighted gray. And then everything in the shadows is already going to be black. And one thing I'll do if I am worried I'm not going to know where the highlights are is I'll zenithally prime something and then take a picture of it. Front, side, back, side. And then just have those pictures so then I can look at the pictures as a reference and be like, oh, okay, this is where all the highlights and the lowlights
are going to affect. When you paint it, it's not going to affect how it looks, right?
Not really, because most of the paints we're using now are too opaque. But what I was going to say is what you can do, especially if you're trying to do something on like a cloak, something that's got like a big billowy stuff, which is very hard to highlight but very satisfying when you do, is what you can do is zenithally prime something, and then if you paint on top of it with really, really thin paints, like really thin translucent paints, what will happen is the zenithal highlight will show through.
Oh, wow.
Through the paint, and it kind of highlights it for you. And especially on something like a cloak, you can make it look really, really cool just through a zenithal highlight and then just through a base coat. Now, you might want to put some highlights and stuff on top of that, but you can get a lot of the way there just from that.
Wow.
And it gives you that kind of shadow and stuff like that without a wash, because a wash is kind of like a... I was going to say, it leaves the mini looking dirty a lot of times. And it really is mostly just for like the crevices. So that's some stuff too.
That blew my mind, man. That was very useful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love hearing that stuff because it helps break it. Like for me, a lot of times, it's just the mystery of it all can be overwhelming a little bit. And so when you have someone like break it down a little, I may not... Oh, golly. Oh, oh gosh! It popped out of there.
Yeah, it popped out of there.
I need to rebase this guy.
That's fine. You can. We have extra bases. You need it.
Gonna rebase that butt.
I'm gonna rebase that butt.
That was terrifying. I was doing some precise work at the time and was very focused in. So they were saying the idea of the hobby of collecting hobbies is painfully accurate.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all.
He's a sample plate guy, you know? I don't know what to do.
He's all broken up.
Proceed. It's going to proceed.
No, you gotta put on something.
Nah. We're going to do this thing. See if I regret it, but I'm doing it.
Alright, that's as much of my highlight and all that stuff.
Gar says, this is why I like watching Nick paint. He's a great teacher. Me too. I just love listening, man. And I would have talked during that, but I was doing this, which is like taking up all of my focus.
If you want to see... Hold on, I'll grab a link to it right now. If you want to see what I'm talking about in action... I'm going to link... There's a gentleman, a mini painter named Sarastro. And you can just watch the first bit of this one, basically up until he does the base coat for this. But he paints the Frost Giant from Blood Rage. And he goes into detail about zenithal priming. And then he does like the skin tone really translucently so that you can see... so that you can see the...
You're going to see it at work.
Yeah.
See it in action.
Yeah, and it's really good. He does it quite well. He is just the best.
He's a talented guy.
Yeah, so this is the video right there. It's really cool. He's great. Watch everything he ever does. He paints tons of games I don't care about, like King Death Monster, and I watch every single one of his videos.
Well, that shows something right there.
Yeah, he's so good. I'm sorry, I'm hits.
No, don't apologize. Get out of my room. Get out of my room.
So I think as good as it still sounds like the teacher from Peanut Show. Wah, 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 wah. So I don't know if you can tell, but his pants are highlighted. You can tell in real life. Also, this monitor is so much darker than this one that I feel like it's...
You can tell.
Oh, you can tell. So yeah, so I highlight his pants. I still think they come across as black, although at this point they kind of come across as gray. But
well, not a black,
what I may
pant?
do...
What's wrong with the black gray pant?
That's nothing wrong with it. I may throw a black wash... Actually, I am. I'm going to throw a black wash on it.
Black wash.
I'm going to try and bring at least the... I'm going to try and bring the shadows back into black. Back in black. Okay. Yeah, Garth, watch that video right there. He will explain it better than me and with visuals.
He will take you to Minitown.
To Minitown.
Gonna take you to Minitown. Gonna take you to Minitown. Whoa. Gonna take you to Minitown. Whoa. It just doesn't work anymore. Okay, so I've got these leather little wraps. I've got some wolf fur on his little bunions there. See, look, there's a hole in this skull because he just spiked a dude through the brain.
Yeah, that is accurate, Mike.
Which is awesome.
Pretty metal.
Let's see, I could go to the gold scullies. What should I do for this little sash down in between his little legaroos there? Maybe like a red or something.
I would say do something that's gonna pop out. Well,
I want the gold little Punisher skull face to show well. I don't necessarily want to do black because I was thinking that for the boots. So I don't know. What do you think? But I also don't want it to be like 10,000 different colors.
Well, the next thing is you don't really want it to take away from what I think the highlight is which is going to be his skin. Mm-hmm. So I would say choose not like a bright red.
I mean, I could do like the XV88 then, and just make it the same as the wraps, and just like make
because it'll be still different than the brown, right? The brown pants are not XV88. Yeah, that's fine.
It's very different than that.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Gotta tie that in.
All right, but
all about tying stuff in. Hold on. Mess paper towels. Dog alert. Be right back.
Dog alert. Did you see the Discord Kickstarter post that you need to get Circus People Giant Plate on stream? I did see that, Slivers.
I'm so sorry. I just saw it as soon as I walked in.
Puppies. Get out of here. But I did. At Giant People Circuses, I don't think that's something we really need in our lives, but I want it. I want it badly. I am I'm trying to think of. I want to shade the skin. I want to put not a really strong wash, but I do want to put a wash on it. I think the post did something bad. I'm hearing heavy sighs. You need chat need yes, but that money though. I think I do want to shade. I'm gonna shade the. I'm gonna put a little bit of a wash on the skin. I'm gonna do Reichland Flesh Shade, which is a kind of a reddish brown wash. The thing is with the base coat for this one, which is Budwin's Glow, I don't think it's gonna be enough to really shade it a lot. So I'm gonna add a teeny bit of Agrix Earthshade, which is our go-to brown shade. I'm just gonna add a splash of that because I don't want it to be. I don't want to do a brown wash. I don't want it to be super dark. I just don't. I need it to be a little bit darker than just the straight Reichland Flesh Shade. Excuse me. What's everyone doing this weekend? That's better. That's what we need, right there. Hoping to feel better. Yeah, everyone's just not feeling hot right now. I feel like it's going around. Yeah, that's what we need right there. Just darken down his muscles. Puppies being bad?
Yeah.
What'd they do?
They just shredded some paper towels from the trash.
Oh, that checks out.
Classic dog maneuver.
Yeah, that's fine. That's what they do.
Right, lay down. Lay down. Hey. Sit. Lay down.
Hi, baby girl. I would love you right now. Hi, hi, girl.
Like I said, we're laying down now.
Hi, baby.
Easy puppy.
Nikki needs to paint. Nikki needs to paint.
You can lay down. You can. You want to flop down? Flop down, monster.
Flopping monster.
Flop monster. Little floppy pancake. It's only XV88 for the little sash.
I'm going right back into it.
Hoping to feel better. Huh? Are you sick?
That's everyone what they're doing this weekend.
Oh. Hoping to feel better. Oh, gosh.
You gotta be better by aircon, Emma. You don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Just want to let you know.
We're teammates in this show. I'm not going to.
The choice is not yours.
No. There's only one way out. Victory! I'm sick at home. Yeah, that sucks, man. I was curious, like, man, the Wi-Fi's working out today.
I know. I was just gonna say. I was thinking the same thing. I was like,
use.
man, good job on the Netherlands to get that Wi-Fi working finally.
You know, they're finally jumping into the 21st century.
It's the 28th century.
Dead. In my brain,
Right.
where it counts. Sprue you.
Let's try and make this guy's face real good. He's got a good face.
I chose my guy with that face.
He's got a good face, and
Yeah.
I'm like, he's actually very detailed and stuff. I'm like,
A piece of why I chose this person is that they're wearing a little helmet and I have to deal with the face.
don't get me wrong. I hate
terrifying.
painting faces more than any. Painting faces sucks. It's very difficult, and it's very scary.
Have you ever really attempted or been successful at doing eyes? Because I know it's incredibly difficult.
A little bit, and I've never been that successful. There's been one time on like one zombie side hero that I feel like I did the eyes actually pretty darn well.
Yeah.
And it was the only time I've ever been like, yeah, it looks pretty good. Like, eyes are so hard because it's so small of an area. And it's like, you got to paint the whites, you got to paint the pupil. I mean, you got to paint the iris. You should be painting the pupil. And then a lot of people even add like eye reflections. It's insane. People get so nuts with it. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome, though.
Yeah. So, yeah. So I said I'm moving everything out of the room to get recarpeted next week as the house gets ready to go on the market. I know you're selling your house, Slivers. That's awesome. You moving to LA? That's cool, dude. We got the best schools in the nation, dude.
Yeah, the best. Right? No.
Right. All right, now I'm going to do...
We have the best schools to go to if you want to go to school with kids whose dads and moms are celebrities.
That is very accurate.
Sure is there. Not a chance.
He said no. You know, he said no, a chance. That means saying
Oh
no,
my God.
but there's a chance. That's what he just said. That's what he just said.
Oh my goodness. Slivers is basically moving here.
Dude, finally.
Literally, I don't know where else people live.
Yeah.
No, see, I don't know how they live.
That's better, yeah.
I know that other places exist. I don't know why.
I just don't get why. All right, so now I'm putting on some Agrics Earth Shade on all the gold parts because I just want to kind of dirty them up a bit and also darken down any recesses. I'm also going to put this brown wash on the belts and the skulls. The red, I think I'm just going to leave as this kind of like dark red. I don't want it to be super dark. Okay, sculling it up.
Scolding, 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 scolding. Silver says, you have the best schools to go to if your neighborhood was built in the past 5 to 7 years. All right. Rip. Is there a shade you would recommend, Nick, for silver to dirty it up some? What's a good wash for a silver?
If you're looking to dirty it up, then Agrics Earth Shade, which is what I'm using right now. This brown.
So it generally works on metallics well?
I mean, all shades work on metallics, but here's the guy: any shade, anything you put on top of metallic is going to dull the metallic effect of it. So if you want to dirty it up, use Earthshade. If you want to rust it up, use Reikland Flesh Shade. If you want to just shade it, use Nuln Oil, which is black.
Use an umbrella, a parasol.
Good call, Mikey.
That's funny, man.
That's comedy.
That was good.
That's not comedy. I don't know what it is.
It gives you shade. Just have him holding a little parasol. Oh, it's just adorable. Why are we not making actual Khorne Daemons? I want to 3D print those now.
I'm sure someone's already made them. That's the thing. I'm sure someone out there has made.
If it's
Khorne
out there,
Daemons.
Nick, I think that you should print them and we should paint them legitimate.
If they're out there, I'll do it.
And if we can't, then we'll build them on Hero Forge and do it ourselves. Because I want my little popcorn grenade. Or not at all. Oh man, I'm just tapping that butt with the XP88. I'm messing up my paint job on my pants. Dang it.
Yeah, welcome to the mini painting. This is why I hate base coating. This is why
I've
base
been so
coating
smooth lately.
is my least favorite part of painting
it's the best
by
part.
far.
It's the only part.
Is because I hate that. There's nothing I hate more than me.
I'm still in that shallow point in my painting where I need to see my work, and I'm like, all this white is now not white, and it's awesome, even if it's just being messily. It's so funny. I'm on the backside of the sash where there's nothing to worry about, and I'm all over the place. Maybe because I don't have to be precise. I'm like just mega sloppy.
All right, now I'm shading all the red too. I wasn't going to, but now I'm going to.
Por qué?
Because I hit it and I was like, why?
Might as well then.
And it will help. I just don't want to have to reapply the Mephiston red, but now I'm going to have to, so. Because my life is terrible and in shambles. And by that, I mean, it's honestly fine.
So, Matt, there's, that shop by Vaughn's was a Games Workshop? Now it just says Warhammer.
I saw that, yeah.
So I wonder if they got bought out by something. I mean, or if it's just like...
I think they're just catering to Warhammer. Yeah, I think they're just...
Because, I mean, that's basically a Games Workshop. That's what it is, so...
I mean, Games Workshop is mostly just Warhammer and Warhammer 40K, so they might as well.
So it's like, whoa. Where can I get some Warhammer stuff? In the Warhammer store. So it says, I'm hoping some of your school reform happens in California. As much as I love the idea of limiting property tax increase, the fact that school funding is tied to local property tax needs to be redone, unless it's already changed in the past few years. I do not know, but you are totally right. I mean, just in general stuff, yeah. I mean, everywhere it needs to change. I think we're getting there. I think people are starting to realize, like,
hey,
this is important.
This doesn't work anymore. Schools have been very, very well. This is how we've always done it, kind of in that mindset. And I'm like, yeah, because that mindset's always healthy.
Yeah. What did I do for these pants? Was it the Mornfang Brown, I wonder?
So I'm going to throw on a little bit of this Agrix Earthshade on certain parts of the torso, like underneath his arms here. And it's mostly just to darken those even more because they're going to be in shadow.
Oh, I didn't see the wraps in there. Whoops. Got more wraps in here. I'm going to do this little XV88 business. XV88.
And then maybe like underneath his
XV80 yeet. You know what I said there? I think I said yeet.
You said yeet, Mike.
I don't know what it means, but I like saying it. It's fun to say. It's a fun word.
Yeet.
Whatever it is.
The kids are saying it. I don't understand it, but it is fun.
They yell yeet and then throw stuff or something, and I don't know. Some grandma did it once, and it was
Some grandma did it once.
She did. She said, "This is not my thing." Yeet and threw a water bottle or some crap. I try to keep up on the times, folks.
Alrighty. All right, so that's my boy all shaded.
You know what I say, Nick? If you don't yeet, you don't eat.
You ain't wrong, Maggie. Gosh, no. Alrighty. He all shaded. I hate Puppy. The puppy lying on my feet, and I'm okay with it.
I'm mostly leaving his helmet and stuff so that I can use it to brace with and not worry about messing up.
Yes,
things.
that is a fair tactic.
Man, I've just got one finger on here while I'm doing that thing. It's very important.
Yeah, that's fair.
With that said, my bracing arm's getting tired.
Yeah. I hear you. Alrighty, so I need that to dry a bit.
Whoa.
That's what I want to talk about this.
Rolling in the yeet.
So we should paint this guy like Mikey. Okay, this guy's all open. But here's the thing, it's like
You can make him a frost core.
like this dude, like getting up in here and stuff is very, very difficult. But like once they're base coated, then it's fine because those areas aren't going to get highlighted because they're in shadow.
You just need to hit him the one time.
Yeah, but hitting them that one time is incredibly annoying. But it's
Yeah.
like you really only need to do it once because then once I'm highlighting, like all this stuff in here, none of this getting highlighted, so it doesn't matter, you know. And it's like none of this down here, none of that's getting highlighted. It's all like literally look at it from this angle, like anything. Like again, the sun presumably is coming from this angle, which means none of this stuff under here is going to get highlighted. And one thing that we tend to look at, at least I do, is I tend to look at minis like this, straight on. And so you're seeing everything, but you need to, again, to sometimes look at it like this and see, okay, what's actually the brightest part of this mini? Like his head, his upper back here, his pauldrons, probably his hands, the weapons, the top of the weapons, the back of this leg back here, the part of this red sash that comes out like that. But that's it. Like none of this shows up at this angle. None of this. Not even a lot of his torso shows up because you can see again, if you're looking at it, he's kind of leaning up like this. And so a lot of like this, I mean, I'm still going to highlight it, but it's like a lot of it really realistically would all be in shadow and stuff. And so it's one of those things that like, that's why I don't like base coating because like, highlighting overall takes longer, but there's less to do, I suppose, in terms of that. Like there's less ground to cover. So I think that makes it so I like it a lot more.
Yeah.
Maybe bigger. But yeah.
Rolling in the yeet. Yeet. Okay. So I think that's all the XV88 business I need. I got this little sasharoon. I got his little rapidoos. I got his little handle on a sword there. Or, excuse me, axe. Derp. His sword over here. Although, does that need a little... No, I'm going to do something different with that. It doesn't look like there's wraps on the sword. Okay. This gentleman is muscular.
He is muscular.
He
they're very strong.
I think I'm going to go into some gold. I think we're going to go to Gold Town, USA now. And I'm just trying to figure out where I want to touch on. Because right here, there's like this little detail coming down the sword. And you did some of that detail work with like stuff, like gold and things. And I thought that was kind of cool. So maybe I can like have a little gold like going down here.
Mm-hmm.
And then something else with the sword itself. The skull up here I want to make gold. But I could maybe make this whole thing like it's gold, like wings coming off almost. Or maybe all the way down here. Do these little shin bones right there, and then gold and gold there. I guess gold on the backside of the sword as well. Looks like he's almost got like rings attached to the axe and stuff as well. So I'm like, maybe I could do that. But then I'm starting to get in the same thing you were wondering. Is like, is it just too much gold?
Yeah.
I don't know if there is such a thing, or if I ought to worry about it, or just have fun and who cares. I probably.
Definitely that is the answer. But there is, but it's like you want to look at it with like an artistic eye of being like, okay, is this too much? Is this because there is that fun of just being like, I'm gonna paint it, whatever. But it's like, but you also kind of have to be like, okay, but like, should I actually paint it like this or whatever? You know, like this. I think is gonna be fine. But I am kind of like, ooh, is this too much gold? Like, should I have made his weapon silver instead of gold to offset it? But I think it's going to be fine. I'll just say he's one of the leaders because that's why he's got so much gold.
Would you?
Yes. I don't know.
I want to make this like a dark blood red blade. Like almost like, you know, like a blood magic blade type thing. Like something that would like... What's an example of like the color I'm thinking? I don't know. Like where it almost like shines. It's shiny, like glossy almost. Like
well, what we could
almost
do
looks like it's made of like Corrugated wet blood.
Okay, well, what we could definitely do is paint it red.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a dark red with some red highlights.
Yeah.
Then we could put, like, not that one, Ard Coat on it. Ard Coat is a gloss medium, and it will make it glossy. And it will therefore probably give that kind of look to it, at least to a degree, yeah. I think it'd be cool.
Oh, I think it'd be kind of cool, like the gold and something, just like this red blade.
I think it'd be cool. I mean, it's kind of the opposite of this, you know?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Almost like he's the mortal enemy, and he slays the red corns with this blade.
Yeah.
I'm getting into the mythos.
He's getting into the lore.
Creating mythos as I go.
The lore is happening. The lore is real.
Emma says, I want to cuddle the puppers. Dude, if you're ever over here, these dogs
You're required.
will accept any and all cuddles. They
That is
are
accurate.
very good that way. So, come on down.
All right. Can I have Bugman's Glow? It's like kind of the dark skin tone down there.
This one?
Yeah. No, the other one.
Oh, sorry. The one that says
Actually, I'll take that one too.
Bugman's Glow. And this is Cadian Flesh Tone.
Cadian Flesh Tone.
Deal. Yeah, like, what's up? When are you coming stateside? What's the deal?
Yeah, why do you live in the Netherlands?
Is there any chance of,
honest.
like, through work or whatever, that travel to, like, a Gen Con or something, for example, would happen, or would need to happen, or could happen? I don't know how it works.
I got that Asmodee money.
Got the Masmodees.
Do whatever you want.
Got the Masmodudes.
Eating dolphins and dancing with lady singers. Where's my baby girl? Where's my baby girl?
She's over here,
Okay.
being a sweet pug.
That's okay. Alrighty, so I'm gonna
I'm just
do kind of a rebase coating.
Says, don't know, but we are looking into a holiday in the States next year as a possibility.
Come to LA.
Rip. Like a company holiday or just you personally? Like for funsies?
Either
I don't
way,
know if
come to
companies do
LA.
holidays together. Eliana says, gotta go finish painting Pinewood Derby car stands. It was good chatting with you. Have a fun day,
Heck
everyone.
yeah,
Everybody's
Pinewood
on
Derby.
it. Doing
I
all sorts of
love
fun
Pinewood
stuff.
Derby.
Enjoy that.
Power Derby's the friggin' best.
Personal holiday. I want to hang out with all the cool peeps over the pond. Dude, that'd be awesome.
Do it. Come during the summer. Matthew will be here.
Yeah, come on down. Seriously. Be so fun.
We got squad in LA.
Got squad. So many people. So many people. Plus Disneyland is here. That's awesome.
You're not wrong.
Fun for everyone. It's the happiest place on Earth.
Pretty sure it's on Earth, huh?
Yeah. The summer is too early. It's never too early. Next summer. This fall. Soon, though. Just say, if you just say it's going to happen someday soon, that's good enough, man. We can be easy peasy. We're going to see you in a week. That'll be good enough for now. Just, LA's raper and Sliver's over here talking smack on it, and I'm not going to stand for it.
I won't stand for it, fam. What's up, Summon the Witch? How you doing?
The witch has been summoned.
You drinking the Croy now or what?
Get after it. Why not?
Keep being about it right now with that LaCroix addiction over here. And you played it, you played it, you played it, you played it.
I'm going to throw it all away.
Why?
Why hate good
You
things?
get it for free. Ship it to us.
Ship it to me now. Just
We'll drink it.
Think about it, that's a good way to stick it to LaCroix. Ship it to us.
That is a good way to stick it to LaCroix.
Emma got held due to a curse by She says, if all goes to crap, I'll just move there, talking about LA, get a van, transform it, and drive through the US and film cool stuff.
That's not a bad idea. It would be a real cock.
It's not free, just anywhere from 20-50% off.
That's basically
That's
free.
the most. Okay, we're gonna send you 50% worth of money for LaCroix, and you give us 100% of it back.
Boom.
Boom blam, boom blam. I hope not all goes horribly, but listen, if you could just be this cool mystery van person in the U.S. roaming about in Nebraska or wherever you end up. Could be cool. There could be worse fates. There are worse things I could do.
Move to the right a little bit, Mike.
Oh, my bad. I'm not on camera. There are worse things I could do than paint off camera.
There are worse things you could do.
But not many.
Not many, not today, not for these 2 hours.
No, sir. That's kind of my only job. Is paint with that camera.
Come to Save vs. Hunger. I'll bring you the bitter water. Please do. Where is that? We'll be there soon.
Drink.
Unless it's not in L.A.
Drink the egg.
Then we won't be there. Probably ever.
Oh.
We don't leave this city.
We gonna leave this city. I mean, I did leave LA technically. People keep trying to like bring that up, and I'm like, I'm still here, y'all. Just a different part of the extended LA area, out by the beach where it is nice all the time. All the time.
Knoxville. Is that in L.A.? Is that a neighborhood in L.A.?
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Super hip.
I don't understand geography outside of this city. Knoxville is in, I believe, Nebraska. Knoxville, Nebraska. Great music scene, I hear. Is it Knoxville where LaCroix was invented, and yet you talk about it so? Ugh. It's just absolutely disgusts me, some of which. Tennessee's where I used to be. Is that right? Garth, I didn't know that. I've always heard good things about Knoxville. Knoxville, Nashville. There's lots of vills. What's with Tennessee and vills, huh?
They're just lazy. Welcome to Los Angeles, Ville. It's like, we know it's a city. You don't have to put the Ville.
We get it.
Not from here originally. Oh, some of the witches.
So there you go. That's why. That's
so
why.
you and Garth switched. Garth said, peace! And you said, hello.
Hello.
What's his LaCroix at?
Hello. Where's your LaCroix?
Give me your
I
LaCroix.
assume that's exactly how you sound.
Give me your LaCroix,
you're
then.
from Britain originally. You came to the LaCroix capital of the world, Knoxville, Tennessee.
What's your LaCroix?
And you're like, hello, where's your LaCroix?
I'm going to throw it into the Mississippi. Or whatever. Whatever. Rivers nearby.
Nope, pretty sure not in
The
Mississippi.
Allegheny. No.
Was told there was bears here and found many. Bears? There's bears in Knoxville? Why?
That's kind of terrifying. Why are there bears there? Who put bears in Knoxville?
Hey, who put these bears here?
Did you leave your bear here, sir?
Excuse me,
It's not
sir.
wise. Excuse me,
This
sir.
isn't advised to
Excuse me,
leave
miss.
bears around
Can
Knoxville,
you pick
Tennessee.
up your damned bear?
It's against City Ordinance 1246, ma'am. Can't
Ne'er
leave
shall
a
a bear be left. What did I just do? How did I get gold in my right thumb? Weird. Ne'er shall a bear be left. Skull hole. Back bacon, what it do?
Back bacon,
golly,
dang.
just dropped my dude.
What's that, dang bacon?
Dang bacon. Back bacon, dang. Sorry if this is just showing you the base of this fella, but I gotta get under this skull, you understand?
So I'm just slowly highlighting the skin. I'm re-putting back on the Bugman's Glow, which is the base coat.
Bugman's glow.
Base coat.
He dips beneath insects. Whoa. You could have Bugman glow. Whoa. Bugman in the deep. Got buttons out of your bug, but you bugged it.
What to do? Not much, back bacon. What you doing?
What you up to?
What you up to, fam? You working? You working?
Man. What you doing, man? Hey, man. What you doing? Only bummer with the gold is I end up needing a couple of coats, and I am just being just messy business over here.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. Not my cleanest work today. I started off good. Last week was so good. Although on the wraps I did immaculately. I'm very happy with the arms. Working in, watching, back baking. That's what's up.
That's right. That's a man with his priorities straight right there.
I'm sculling it. Gold sculling it. Gold skull it.
Caesar skull it.
Give me a Caesar skull it.
That's cool. Gold skull. I like it.
We are flying out, Emma, on Monday. Monday at like 4:30ish local time, and we'll arrive Tuesday morning because of that time difference.
Good. But although when we come home, we are only getting home like 4 hours later than when we
Which
left.
is
It's
just
freaking
not
me out.
right.
Time isn't real.
We're leaving at 1:30. We're landing at 5:30, and you're just like, "Where am I, man? The sun is still up."
Time isn't real.
And the sun will still be up because we're changing the clocks on Saturday night. Oh, it's Saturday night. I'm on the weekend. Just time I can amen. Oh, go change your clocks.
Panda Disco doing Lord's work over here.
Gonna need some extra time to sleep in.
Oh, dude, so good.
Time is strange. Time is weird. Time is bizarre.
It's not real.
I'm just curious how I'm going to handle the jet lag, because last time I was like, not going to be an issue, and I was jacked up.
Going out there?
Yeah.
See, coming home, I was screwed up. Going out there, I was legit fine.
Both times. Waking up at like 3 in the morning, just absolutely as awake as I could be, because it's like 11 or 12.
Yeah.
It's like, well, let's get this day started.
The problem is when I got home from Europe, we went immediately camping.
Yes.
And like, so I would like
you were not
wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning in like the wilderness.
Like make a fire.
And just be like awake. Just sitting there. Like it was super weird.
Yeah, that was probably not an ideal situation. Get up. We're going camping. It's nighttime now. Crap, it's daytime. Sun's out. Get up. You monster.
I mean, yeah, it was literally like a day or two after I got back.
That's crazy, man. You're crazy.
You're crazy, man. I like you. But you're crazy, man. Flying to the past. Yeah, it's wild. That's why it always sucks when we go to conventions like on the East Coast, because we lose time going over there, or gain time, or whatever it is. And so we leave here at like 8 a.m. We get there at like 5, and we're just like, oh, the whole day. Then we come home, and it's like, man, we can leave at like, 7, 8. We'll get home at like 10. It'll be great.
Yeah, it's honestly awesome. Going to East is good just so you can come back West later.
Come back to the promised land.
Yo, dude.
Alrighty. So there is my first. I probably should do that. I was gonna wait until the face is a whole separate thing, but I guess I should probably just do it.
It's painting day. Whoa, it's painting day. Yep. Oh, man.
So I'm not talking much.
It's gold tone, yeah. But once it starts getting into the deets, man, it's hard to talk because I'm just like, I am focused.
If you want us to talk, ask a specific question that we can talk about for a while and not have to look up, because that's my thing is when I get into face painting, it's...
Do you guys prefer these paints? Nick? I'd say they're the only paints.
Not really.
So these are Citadel paints, which it's the only thing I've painted with because I have very limited experience. And now there's Vallejo paints, which is another bigger brand on the cheaper side of things.
Not really. They're pretty much the same.
No? Okay. Yeah. Vallejo's another brand then.
Vallejo is another big brand.
Crap though, right?
Ads on. I think they got an ad. We'll come in. Let's know when you're back. If you can hear us.
Oh no. Alright. Every 30 seconds we'll back you back. 80 you back.
Hey, you back. Hey, you back. I'm going to go to Zoom. Then we're back. Yeah, so not necessarily do I prefer these paints as in they're only the paints I've ever used. But it's not really for any specific reason that I picked.
What led you to start with Citadel?
It was just like it's
brand recognition, like
yeah, it's name recognition. It's like Games Workshop is the biggest miniatures company out there by far, and this is their paint line, so it must be the best. When I first started out painting, I was just like, oh, this is the one this has the most prominent display in almost every game store you go to.
Right.
So you're like, oh, it's the best. It's the most well known, and it's not necessarily the best. It's not anywhere near the worst, but like, I mean, you can argue for any of them being better than any of the other ones. It's just personal preference. So, if they supplied you for the stream, I understand. No, they did not. I bought all these myself. We don't have them any here, but Citadel did send us contrast paints. But we're in no obligation to say that we like them or anything like that. No, all of these Citadel paints I bought. This is my own personal supply.
It's what he really paints with, folks. Not everyone is trying to scam you, it turns out. Nick loves Citadel paints.
I do like Citadel paints. And the main reason why I've never really... I've tried some of the paints. I tried a little bit of Vallejo, a little bit of P3, some other ones.
I've heard of P3. I mean, that's the thing. Citadel is such a stronghold on the... It's like...
Yeah, and that's why I started with them.
It's the biggest in every... Which makes sense, because, like, if you're a game store, like Warhammer and 40K stuff makes you so much money. It's such a big piece of your business plan. So, like, of course you're going to put, like... the Citadel stuff on display with the Warhammer stuff, and then like
it's the paint that's going to sell you the most. So I started collecting this, and I have continued collecting it. Again, not for any kind of loyalty. I just get.
It's like once you have a start, like.
I don't like having different color. I don't like having different. It's really just a visual thing. It's like I don't like. This is my personal preference. It has nothing to say if anyone whose desk does it like this. I don't like having a bunch of different kinds of bottles on there. It just, for whatever reason, like the OCD in me stresses me out. So like I like everything to be uniform, and that's why I kept. That's why I kept collecting Citadel. It wasn't.
You're completionist. No, you're not judgy.
No, not at all.
No, you didn't come in judgy at all, at least to us.
Yeah, so it honestly, it's not really for any specific reason other than it was the most prominent one that I saw when I first started painting, so I got it, and then I've continued collecting it because I like the uniformity on my racks of paints. I don't like having... Like, honestly, if I want to start collecting Citadel paints, I would probably... This is really dumb. I would probably have to get separate racks for them. Because it would bother me to put them on these ones.
Could you not have, like, Vallejo's only in this... You can't see this, but there's, like... These are you can build them however you want. So like,
I probably could.
You could have them in one section.
I probably could. But even then, I would not like it. I'm going to say, it's not rational. It's really silly. But I get like that with stuff. Same reason why I've only ever used like Copic markers, because I don't like having other kinds of markers in there. It bothers me not to have.
That makes a little more sense to me. I mean, I guess maybe it would for paints. Like, I would feel like Copic markers are... I would hope, like, are built to work with other Copic markers, and I would hope that Citadel paints are built to like blend well and work with other Citadel paints. And I don't know if like that means like if you mix Vallejo with Citadel, it wouldn't blend.
No,
I'm sure
they
it
do
would
perfectly.
But it's like mentally, I'm like, well, they are meant to go together, so I'm just going to stick to a brand, whatever that brand may be.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's
I can
not.
wrap my head around that.
It's a silly thing, but that's why. So it's I do prefer them, but not for any kind of like concrete or actual reason. Do I prefer them?
Birdie, are you a painter? Do you use any type in particular? I'd be curious to see like other folks who paint if you use a different brand or if you mix brands and how you like that.
Yeah.
You know.
Alrighty. So the first kind of
because I'm sure it works fine. I don't know. It's the only paint I do because I only paint on Nick's stuff. It's the only thing I painted with. I paint a lot less than him, so I've really only. Although, what were we painting with in at PAX Unplugged? Was that Citadel or was that something else?
That was Vallejo.
Yeah, so that's why I painted Vallejo once, and it worked good.
Yeah,
those paints I couldn't tell you a single difference because I don't know the difference.
Yeah,
I'm not experienced. That's the word. Emma says, I got a starter bunch of paints from Vallejo and got some Citadel colors and washes. Okay, cool. So you're mixing and matching. Well, that's why I thought we talked about this once that like Vallejo has like a really good starter pack.
Their starter kit is by far the best.
That's what it was. That's what I was saying. Like it's cheaper, but that's what it is.
You get way more paint. You get and Vallejo honestly is a lot of people's preferred paint. So like
really, okay.
Yes, and I've they got a couple colors that I may get just because I haven't seen them in the Citadel line or anywhere.
We have to go to Citadel outlets.
That's what it's got to do. The Citadel outlets out in Camarillo.
It's a giant paint store.
But really, it's like just get whatever you want, you know, and mix and match. There's benefits to all of them. You have like scale 75 paints, which a lot of like professional mini painters use. They like it because it's incredibly matte. Like it is stupidly matte to the point where it's like you can put a light directly on it. Not one bit of shine is going to be on that thing.
Why do people hate shine so much?
Well, it's because you're trying to get a good picture of it. You don't want it to. It's the same reason when we're filming board games.
You don't want reflections.
Yeah, you don't want reflections.
You don't want that glare.
Nah, so it's like, So that's the thing. So
they're just doing it for the gram.
Yeah, they're doing it for the gram. But not until but it's an incredibly difficult paint to paint with. I've heard, and so that's why I've never had any interest in it. But you know, so I've been trying to start. This is a birdie. I have a Reaper starter pack, but haven't done very much yet. Go for it. Just start. That's the main thing. Is
that's
like,
where I'm
at.
Painting. I'm just like painting whatever.
Yeah, paint whatever colors you want. Do whatever you want. Reaper's great too. Reaper's great. They got they have affordable miniatures, and you can really get some good practice on them. And then a lot of their miniatures, especially the bigger ones, are actually really cool.
Yeah, we're probably gonna do some Reaper stuff at some point.
At some point, I'm sure we will. Yeah.
This sounds fun. Do like something big and different.
Yeah. Guard says I have Vallejo and Citadel, but mostly because Vallejo is about $3 cheaper per pot or bottle. Yeah, it is a little bit cheaper, but it's really good. A lot of people, I know a lot of painters who really, really like Vallejo a lot. Alrighty, we're gonna go a little bit lighter on the skin tone. I don't paint much skin, especially like this. This kind of like big, just volumes of rippling muscles. So kind of want to give this one a good shot.
Emma says, folks, I gotta go help out with dinner and rest and some rest again. Have a great day and night. And I can't wait to till next week, Murphs. Hashtag Stroop Waffles for days. I know, I can't wait. I mean, literally, next Wednesday we will be in Stourbridge hanging out. So Emma, get better, rest up.
Yeah, you're not allowed to be sick.
Yeah, I mean, you can be sick. I'll still give you a hug if you got sniffles. It's cool. Yeah. I'm not worried about it, man. But do get better so that you feel better. I mean, that's great right there.
Oh yeah.
And have a good night. Enjoy dinner too. We'll see you next time. Boom. Just trying to get these little arrows down. We're gonna almost certainly have to redo these after because it's a very thin thing that I'm sure I'll just paint right the hell over. When I'm doing whatever blood magic sword thing I want to try to do.
Pretty excited for the Blood Magic Sword,
I'm not trying too much crazy stuff, man.
No. I honestly wish I had tried more crazy stuff when I was starting out. I did stuff very, very, like, normally. And was kind of like, I should have done
There's nothing wrong with that,
stuff.
though. I mean, you know.
No, not at all.
It's whatever you want it to be in the
That's
moment.
the thing, man. It's whatever you want.
The cool thing is, I mean, that we always talk about with mini painting, it's like, now you're experienced. And if you want to do something like wild, do it. You know, like, cool, do it. And you could probably do it well and stuff. Like, I'm just doing just a bunch of gold wildness here because, I don't know.
I like that, though. I love the fact that you're just free with it. It's awesome.
I don't know any better.
As someone who is a very meticulous artist, I find that kind of ability to kind of be like, screw it, I'm doing whatever, incredibly inspiring, because I do not have that ability.
You are, like you said, a meticulous artist. Like, you are detail oriented. You take your time.
Yeah, it stresses me out to be anything other than that. And so, but I see people who just like draw, and I'm just like, I literally can't do that. And it really, because I start freaking out if I do. And so, like, I'm very envious, and I admire people who kind of have that, like, screw it, I'm just going to do it, you know, like, very, very, I'm very envious of those types of people. Especially when it comes to art.
Yeah.
I can do that with other stuff, just not art.
Yeah. A Bird's just asking, it's clarifying a little bit about why they specified, like, I don't know if Citadel supplied these paints for you, because they've asked about other streamers about, like, a keyboard they use or something for gaming and all that. And they would say, like, well, Logitech was nice enough to send me this one, and it's great. Thumbs up, 10 out of 10. I know sometimes it's like that. Yeah, sometimes you gotta push the thing.
Yeah, push the brand, baby.
Luckily, we're not in that situation here where we're tied to any one brand or whatever, so it's cool.
And the brands we are tied to for sponsorship, we have express permission in our contract saying, yeah, you don't have to say nice things about our games or whatever if you don't like them.
You don't have to lie, which is dope.
We're like, good.
Cool.
Because
so if Restoration Games ever comes out with a crap game, we'll let you know. Well, we have that ability. Yeah, I mean, and again, so with us, you said that you're just genuinely interested in our opinion. For me, it's Citadel seems good. It's the only thing I've used, but it's
a little thick. I wish it was a little thinner out of the pot. Vallejo's a little thinner out of the pot.
It's funny because those first. So Nick was talking. Nick's a big advocate for thinning out your paints, and early in the go, I was like, no, like I want it to be thick and gloopy and stuff, and all this, and like I want to have like a lot of paint. But now I'm starting to see, like, oh no, yeah, you do need to thin it out.
Thin it out so much, baby.
So it's like, you know, I still at times over thin, I think, especially this gold. But it's like you're getting into the nits and grits.
The metallics, I will say, for the most part, don't thin the metallics.
I think it's just a hair because I'm kind of getting this, but I'm going to have to do multiple coats.
But it also depends on the gold. The bright gold that you're using, Arc Armor Gold, is really, really thin and translucent on its own.
Yeah.
So that one I especially would never thin.
Oh, well, I did. So.
Well, it's fine. You can just do multiple coats.
No,
It'll end up being the same.
I'm a bad painter.
No, it's fine. Like, you're just not good at this.
I'll go. I'm just not built for this. You're not good at this?
I don't know how to tell you this, but you suck at this.
You suck at this?
Sorry, Nike Nick said something earlier. Nike Nick, what's up, Nike Nick?
Yo!
So I just got into painting, and since I didn't want to spend a lot of money, I just got the Iron Painter starter set. That's totally fine. And that has been good enough for me. Currently painting Stuffed Fables.
Stuffed Fables.
Yeah, I really want to paint Stuffed Fables. We don't have Stuffed Fables, but it just seems like fun to paint. But yeah, that's 100% fine. Get whatever you want. Get craft store paint. Who cares? I mean, I'm a big advocate. You should buy paint for minis, but like, there's some professional painters who use the craft store paint.
Yeah.
They're really good.
Yeah. Whatever works can work. Like,
yeah,
the best painter in the world can make bad paint look pretty good, and the worst painter in the world can make good paint look bad. You know, it's like, it's all whatever, man. If you're having fun,
it's like
cool.
surfing.
Just, yeah. Dude, neither of us got great at surfing, but like, I had a blast and a half. Like, it's just.
They always say the best surf in the world is one having the most fun. I've always loved that mindset.
Yeah. It's true. Just, it's such a good reminder too, because in anything, you can get intense with it, right? Like you see it with surfers a lot. There's like etiquette and stuff, and I get especially that because like there's safety involved and all that, so I understand. Yeah. But there'll be a lot of surfers who are like, get off my beach and stuff, and like I'm like,
oh, that point break.
Like, dude, we're just but like that stuff's real.
Ding my board.
Yeah, that stuff's super real.
Which is kind of fair, actually. I'd be pissed.
Yeah, if you dig the board. But yeah, again, there's safety involved. But just in general, like, yeah, you should, you don't belong here. You're not good enough yet. Yeah, local stuff like that. I'm like, piss off. It's like, have fun, dude. It should be fun. Keep it fun. We're all gonna die. Just have fun. Especially surfing, which is like such a spiritual thing.
I know, right? It's such a calm, chillest thing ever. Everyone's just like sitting on a wave, sitting out there waiting for the set.
Waiting for the next set. Roll in, man. That is some of the coolest time ever.
The best time of the whole thing is just sitting there talking,
just lounging on the board, chatting. So awesome. Oh, I miss it. We gotta get back to one of these years.
One of these decades, we'll get back to it.
We have it in us to do. We just gotta do it.
Just need the time, bro.
We gotta make the time.
That's true.
We could be surfing. Just get up at 5. Go do it.
That's true. That's the thing. Is like really, there's no excuse to not surf because the best time is like 6 a.m.
Yeah, we're not working at the best times for surfing. That's for dang sure. So. But we'll get there, It's all timing and balance and stuff. And I think we're getting better and better all the time at finding life's balance. How do y'all balance out life? How do you like to do it? Are you workaholics? You work all the time and you like it that way? There's nothing wrong with working a lot if you're into that. We work a ton. So
That's the other thing. I wouldn't say we're necessarily workaholics. We both are.
I know. I was trying to destigmatize. Pretty, mean to be like, oh, are you like some
hard workers?
How do you balance? How do you balance the fun in life and all that? What do you do? What's your hobbies, basically, what I'm asking?
Me?
People.
Oh,
well, you too.
How do you balance,
man? How do you unwind from work, Nick?
I do art.
He does what you're doing right here. You're seeing Nick unwind from work right now.
This really is. This is what I do on my days off. I find painting minis, because I think you have to be so intensely and focused on such a small area. I find it to be incredibly cathartic to just sit here.
The rest of the world kind of melts away, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And you can burn hours. And so, like, I paint minis a lot, and it's honestly because I wouldn't say it's restful, but it's a nice way to spend a day off to me.
I love that.
I said, oh man, too true. The good paint / bad painter thing that makes you feel better. Yeah, exactly. It's like Mike hit on the nail. It's like nail on the head. Like the worst painter can make good paint look bad, and vice versa. It's like it's all relative. And really, in the end, and this is the biggest issue with all this stuff, is like there's no paint line that's gonna make you a better painter. You are going to make you a better painter.
Yeah, you can't buy your way into like good painting.
People always like, oh, you need a wet palette, you need this, you need that.
No.
Having a wet palette is very nice, and it does help. Having nice brushes does help. It's not going to make you a better painter, though. Practicing will make you a better painter.
Having nice tools is great, but you still have to wield the tool.
Yeah.
A tool is just a tool. It's not good or bad.
I'm actually going to, if I end up doing that painting video for the unnamed people,
would those unnamed people agree that every game deserves another turn?
Thanks, Mike.
If you were to do that, if you were to ever do a mini painting video like a Sarastro,
yeah, it's like I would talk about that kind of like when I'm just painting something and there's not necessarily anything I need to be saying about like what I'm doing. Just talk about that. Like I am as big of a sucker. Sucker's the wrong word. That just sounds unnecessarily negative. I fall into the trap, rather, of being like, oh, if I get this paint range,
then I'll be good.
It's gonna fix this. It's gonna do this. It's gonna do this. I don't get that way very often, except for with art.
Okay.
I don't get that way with other stuff. I don't really care. Like, it's like we constantly talking about like how when something stops working, we just find a way to make it work. It's like it's just what it is.
Believe me, we're doing that right now, man.
Yeah, it's like we literally our lighting situation in this room has gotten real weird in the last number. We're just like, oh, like one of our lighting stands just the legs broke, so we just lean it against the wall now. It's like we're very good at making stuff work, but with art, I get very like, oh, if I just had this, I'd finally be good. Oh, if I just do this, I'd finally be good. And it's like, no, like I just have to do it.
Stuff
like
that I talk about in therapy, man. I'm telling you right now.
It's like I just have to do it, and that's what everyone else is. So like paint doesn't matter, brushes don't matter, none of that stuff matters. You have to just paint minis. You just have to paint minis.
I'm just trying to pull some of this paint out of the visor, by the way. Just kind of drying off. And
Sure.
Keep some
Nike.
definition.
Nick asked, "Have you already talked about the brushes you use? Is there a certain brand you like? These white brushes, the ones that Mike's using, are just called like My Artscape. I got them on Amazon. It was like a mini painting brush thing. It had a whole bunch of different sizes, some small, some big. I got it because it was like pretty cheap, and it had a bunch of different, like again sizes. They're fine. They're just fine. Honestly, I've had them at this point for a couple of years. Mike's using those ones.
I think it's cool.
I use Raphael brushes, which are mini painting brushes. I
get
use
it back. Get it back.
Raphael Kalinsky. This is a size 0, and then I also have a size 2. I use a size 2 for base coating, and then I use the size 0 for basically everything else. I might want to get a smaller brush. The thing about Raphael brushes, which I really like, and a lot of people like them for this reason, is they're really fat. Super fat. Like, it's a really big... Like, you look at it compared to... Let me see yours right here. See, these are about the same length, and you can see the difference.
More brush on yours.
Now, because again...
Why do you like that? What's the difference?
Well, because my philosophy, and a lot of people's philosophy, is like, oh, you need the smaller brush, the better. And that's not necessarily the case. The only thing that matters is how well of a tip your brush comes to.
A nice tip.
Because here's the thing. The very, very tip of it, if I'm only touching that to the paint, the model, that is the same size as that or smaller. But the thing about having a lot of bristles, a big fat boy brush, it can hold more paint, so I don't have to refill my paint as much. And paint dries out on my bristles slower because there's more paint to dry. So I really like fat brushes that make really nice points. And Raphael, I did a lot of research on it. A lot of people like Raphael, and from now that I got them, I instantly was like, yep, this right now, at least for me, is my freaking brush.
So basically what you're saying is Nick gives me the kids' table brushes because I'm going to
specifically
jack them up.
When we got picked up for the street, we said, hey, do you want me to get you a couple Raphael brushes? Yeah, you said, no, I'll probably just mess them up. I'll just keep using the ones I have.
I put myself with the kids' table.
So I offered...
I'm like mashing, you're like, ooh, and it was like, what?
What's wrong?
So let's see. Nike Dick says, I keep busy with work, church, and family take up a majority of my time. When I don't have anyone to game with, then I've been painting minis because it's still game related and makes my games look better. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
That is 100% accurate.
Thanks for the help on the brushes. I want to find brushes that have better tips, so probably check those out. Yeah, those Raphael brushes look nice, and like these work perfect for me, and I like these because they're used. I feel like a little less bad if I do kind of just like, oh, let some paint dry on that one or what. It's like, okay.
And that's really the thing with brushes is like you need them to come to a nice point. The quality of the brushes doesn't matter as much. You just got to be able to have them a nice point because it's like it's not a nice point. It's
what is the point?
You can't do any detail work. Like you just can't. And so like that and literally mini painting is literally only detail work. Really.
You gotta be detail oriented.
And you can go like Winsor & Newton. Are pretty good. Broken Toad are really good, but they're expensive. And they don't come out with brushes very often. They don't sell them very often, but I know a lot of professional painters really like those. But again, you just need like I got these, and these honestly for a while now, like I've really used these a lot. They've been good.
They've held up okay.
Yeah, they've held up fine. I also did not treat them as well as I could have. I wasn't good about cleaning them after every use. And so, like, if you do, like, those ones were fine. I'd probably be fine with those even today. I just screwed them up because I wasn't cleaning them as much as I should have.
It's like your first car, you know? You're going to be hard on that car.
Yeah. You're not getting the oil change as much as you should.
Yeah, stuff like that, you know? And that's okay. It's how we learn.
And that's okay.
It's how we get better. Rolling in the deep. Yeet. My dude gonna be a fancy boy.
Sorry, I'm painting the face, so I'm not looking up.
I shall look up for us. Do you use natural or synthetic brushes?
These are natural. Because honestly, the second they come out with a synthetic brush that can match a natural one, I will immediately switch over for environmental reasons and stuff like that.
Are these like horsehair then?
These are sable hair. They're weasel.
Weasel?
Yep.
I did not know that you could get the hair of a weasel and use it for anything.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so these are natural. I would love for them to make a synthetic brush that is as good as
that can compete.
Yeah, because they really can't. They just don't hold up. They don't hold their points for nearly as long.
That's a shame.
It is.
Actually, that's true because like kids brushes for like water, they're like just plastic, whatever, and they just go.
Yeah, it's
like,
there's
instantly.
Yeah, and it's like those are synthetic.
And I know those are meant to be cheap.
Held up decently well, but it's like if you're painting a lot, like you need a brush that's gonna hold its tip, and synthetic brushes just don't. They just don't.
That's such a shame. I'm sure we'll get one like literally in the next few years. That'll just be like the bomb.
I would immediately switch over if it was comparable.
Oh, it's comparable.
I don't need weasels to make my brushes, but
they make the brushes in like a workshop.
They do. It's a real bad working conditions too.
Oh, that's made me sad now. I thought it was gonna be fun.
Mm-hmm. It's like Santa's workshop. It's actually a hellhole, dude.
You imagine? Ain't no way that place is cheery.
All year like that? Nah.
Non-stop.
It's friggin' December 26th and Santa's already screaming at everybody to get working.
Yeah. After their one day off a year.
Yeah, the one day they don't have to make freaking toys. That fat piece of crap's up there delivering.
I mean, they're supposed to be working, but they just kick their feet up. They
Oh, yeah.
They don't tell anyone. Mrs. Claus is dope. She's just like, I'm not going to
She's like, you cool, man.
I'm not going to bring it up.
You don't bring it up? I don't bring it up.
I'll bring up my affair with that polar bear over
I
there.
was about to say something exactly like that.
All right. Okay. All right. He's shiny for sure. Five seconds of silence just happened on a Brothers Murph stream. Can you believe it? Can you actually believe it? Only here.
I'm painting a face.
Dead. If Nick's painting a face and I'm painting just about anything, that's why sometimes I just put it down, because it's easier for me to put it down and talk, you know? A birdie says, I have games that I want to make look better by painting the minis. I have Allied Assault almost since it came out, and the minis are still naked. I just got Humblewood, and I'm waiting on Etherfields now, so I need to get unafraid of messing them up. Etherfields has crazy minis, and then Sass Queen made a good point, said all paints can be covered. That's true. It's like, you can just strip it down and start again if it really just fell apart on you. You're like, well, not going to do that. And that's cool.
That's why I just paint, because again, you can always start over again. Like,
just have at it.
Yeah, like, just got to go for it.
I mean, Nick started with like zombicide type stuff and like wanted to paint a bunch of the zombies before doing the heroes and kind of cut his teeth on that.
Yep.
And if there's something like that, you have a game that has all these minis, start with like the minions, the grunts, you know, the smaller things, and then work your way up to like the biggest important things, and kind of work through some of those mistakes and learn, not mistakes, but happy accidents, and learn and be like, oh, I could do this instead of that. Cool. So by the time you get to the big thing, and then when you look back at the other ones, you might see your mistakes or whatever, or like, I wish I'd done this better. But anyone who plays that game is going to be like, these look amazing.
That's the thing. That's a real talk. Anyone who doesn't paint minis will be like, oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I brought our Rum and Bones minis to Dice Star West, and a lot of those were like just contrast paints, no highlighting, and like didn't look bad, but like weren't either of our like best work. And people were just like, "That looks so amazing!" And I was just like, "Yeah, dude." And also on top of that, once it's on the table and you're not looking at it here, you do not look at minis from this far away. Yeah. You look at minis from this far away. Yeah. Actually, that's still too close. And they look dope that far away.
That was like one of the best points you made. It's just like, you're never going to be right here. And I'm like, oh yeah.
Never again.
Barry says, this honestly helped me a lot. Hey, I'm glad. Super glad. I'm speaking of as someone who's like a brand new painter myself, and like I'm right there with you with all of these thoughts and stuff, and like it's just once you start doing it, it's just fun. It's literally fun. Like my person, we're painting Khorne Daemons, famous things. They're supposed to be red and stuff. I'm like, no.
My dude is he's like, I'm an ice demon.
I'm a frost demon. You know, I'm a frost corn.
Sounds fun.
I'm just gonna put gold everywhere. It's like, why not?
Why not?
Look, as if when this is done, it's sitting on a table. People are like, that's cool looking.
Yeah.
Some person will be like, well, that's a Khorne. It shouldn't look like that or whatever. And it's like, guess what? I don't care about that person's opinion. I don't care.
All right, Mikey. So this is what we got today, everybody.
Oh man, I got a lot done. It doesn't look like I did.
It does look like you did.
But I got the little wraps and stuff on this. It was a lot of detail work, so I had to go slow. But I'm very excited to pick this up next time. I don't know. We'll see, because we're going to Europe. We are going to do
probably next Wednesday. I don't know when.
A paint stream. But the thing is, we're going to be on the road, and we're probably going to do kind of a one-off painting, because we're not bringing all of our paints.
No.
Some of our paints will come with us, but I don't think I'll be working on this fella here, because I don't think we'll have all of our paints to do that. So next week, if we're able to go live, if not, then the week after, I think we certainly will be able to. It'll probably be a one-off painting, some random thing that we managed to stuff away with us. We will bring some paints, but it's going to be minimal. So we're going to kind of think of like, what can we paint and with what? So stay tuned for whatever that mystery European paint trip will be.
We're painting Europe. It's going to be crazy.
You know, but this is the final product for today, man. I've got some goldies. I'm going to go over another coat with this gold. Got some gold accents here and stuff. I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's pretty neat.
Mikey. It looks great.
Yeah, I've got to clean it up. It's definitely messy, but
that's how it goes, though.
Yeah, and I'm going to figure out this blood sword thing that I'm going to try to do.
And my question is, Mikey, you want to be an ice demon?
I was just thinking it looked like Genie. Yeah, it's kind of like Genie. I'm gonna hopefully lighten up, make it a little more frosty.
So, okay,
it's Genie of your worst nightmares.
Okay, cool. I was gonna say, do you want it looking? So how do you envision it? Do you want it where, at least on his skin, do you want it where like the crevices are like white, where it looks like he's like glowing from within?
Kinda.
Or maybe. Do you want it where he's like just frosty, and so the crevices would be blue and the rest would be highlighted up to white?
That's interesting.
I will say having the crevices be white, otherwise it's probably going to be pretty significantly more difficult.
I don't know. So I can kind of make them like almost white, but then there'll be hints of blue versus like straight Genie status. I don't know.
I mean, I think you could just highlight up to a light blue, like a really like a light sky blue, and I think it'd probably look super weird but cool.
Yeah, maybe that. We'll have to figure it out. I'm not thinking about it.
We'll figure it out.
Mr. Freeze status. Yeah, he's pretty Mr. Freezy right now.
He is Mr. Freezy.
But I want to give him these cool, like, white scars, like white lines.
All right, man. We didn't do too much in terms of, I mostly highlighted pants and then skin, but highlighting skin is,
work.
Especially on skin like this where this dude is just mega ripped. It's just like,
super rippered.
Wow.
Super rippered.
Thank you all for being here. We'll be back on our channel, which is down here if you want to follow the Brothers Murph. We stream on GenCon on Mondays and Wednesdays. Mondays we play board games at night at 6 p.m. Wednesdays here. Actually, let me drop in the schedule. And then Wednesdays here in the morning we paint minis. But then on our channel on Tuesday and Thursday nights we stream on our own.
Yeah, baby. And it's Warsh Week here at Brothers Murph.
It is indeed. So join us tomorrow evening for a little bit of Taverns of Tiefenthal, a little bit of Warsh stuff going on.
A little bit of that Warsh.
But yeah, and so have a great rest of your day, everybody. This was awesome, and we'll see you later.